Welcome to the Sportz Phenz Show. The show where, just like you, we can't get enough sports.
The 47-year wait is over! And the Nuggets win it! Wilson throwing, it's up for grabs, and it's caught for the touchdown! And the Denver Broncos have taken Super Bowl 50. And the Avalanche are 2022 Stanley Cup champions! And a shot into the back of the net for Diego Rubio!
Now here's your hosts, Arthur Knight and Larry Perkins.
Welcome to the Sportz Phenz Show. I am Arthur Knight, and with me, as always, is Larry Perkins. Say what's up, Larry, man.
How you doing, man?
So I just did something funny. I was trying to put "We Are Live" in the chat.
I know what you probably put, too.
It was "We Are Love," and it's hilarious. Live, my stupid smartphone switched it from live.
We are
to
loved.
love.
We are loved, ladies.
I mean, we are loved too. You know what I'm saying? Love and light to everybody that watches this show and everybody who doesn't. I wish you all the best. Welcome to the show.
If you don't love yourself, who gonna you love?
I love everybody, man. You know.
I know all about that.
You know.
Okay.
I love in a lot of different ways. Like if I'm not picking on you, then you should probably worry. Because if I'm not picking on you, I'm not speaking to you. So that means I don't like you. So in my family, if you're not picked on, you're not loved. So with that said, welcome to the Sportz Phenz Show.
No, I was like, where we going? Where we going, man?
That should be the new show slogan.
Sports love? No, I don't think so.
We are love.
Sports.
We are love. Sportz Phenz. We are love.
We don't pick on you. We don't like you.
Mark said, "We are love, YOLO. We are love." I do like that, though. I do
That's how
like
we
that.
treat Dave.
I do like that.
Yeah.
I mean, as long as everything's done in love, you know what I'm saying? Like, this man tells me I'm cold all the time. He's like, "You cold?" I'm like, "Nah, I ain't cold. It's just funny." And you know it's funny. That's why when you stop laughing, I'll stop saying it. Right?
Man.
Right?
I don't know what's going on right now.
We are love. We are love.
Real, man.
Anyways, we are live here at So High Cafe, 4300 West Alameda, Denver, Colorado. Come by and say what's up.
Yeah.
Come watch us live sometime. Get yourself some barbecue. Vinny's always got something cooking up here, except for when it's negative degrees outside and it's hard to smoke. You know what I'm saying?
The sun is out pretty good.
Oh, we're always smoking.
Yeah.
We're always smoking.
But yeah. I'm just saying, it's cold. It's cold. We're always smoking. That took me a second to get, but I got it. Anyway, come on by 4300 West Alameda. Say what's up to Vinny. Tell him the Sportz Phenz sent you. See if you can get like a Sportz Phenz discount. If not, the food is good anyways. It's worth the money regardless. So come on by, get you some ribs.
I can attest to that.
Pre-order on IG if you want. Follow him on Instagram. Follow So High Cafe on Instagram. Get you some Viper Pit barbecue. All right, so what is happening? I don't know what's happening. What's happening right now is we are going to talk a little bit of football. It looks like Philadelphia is in, I don't want to say complete control of the game, but
Semi.
I mean,
Yeah,
I mean,
it's not even halftime yet, but
what's the score there, Vinny?
I want to say it's still 14-3.
All right, that's what's up. So 14-3.
14-6.
14-6.
6,
sorry.
yeah, no,
that's
see,
right.
there we go.
They're coming back, man. They're coming
bad.
back. They're coming
Hey,
back.
it's 14-12.
Okay.
It's 14-12. I just refreshed my screen. It's 14-12. So looks like the NFC Championship is going to be up for grabs here. Like, I really thought Philadelphia would straight dominate this game. I thought it would already be 21-0, 28-0 right now. But I guess Mr. Daniels is the truth, man.
Well, you have two dynamic offenses. So
Yeah. I believe in Daniels, man. I mean, if the Broncos were high enough in the draft to get him, I mean, I would be ecstatic right now. But I love Bo Nix. Don't get me wrong. Don't take that the wrong way. Bo Nix is the truth. He's going to be just as good. Washington had a more complete team around when they drafted Daniels. They had a more complete team. They were still kind of winning with other quarterbacks. They just needed that guy. And now they have their guy in Daniels, and this kid is going to be a joy to watch and a terror to watch.
Got to be careful.
He's going to be a terror to watch when he plays the Broncos or any teams that I like, man. But, the Daniels era, the Bo Nix era has begun. Both of these quarterbacks, are going to be that, Mahomes,
who else?
Allen.
Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, that's going to be this type of class, in my humble opinion. It's going to be a bunch of quarterbacks vying for the top spot. But right now, Mahomes is king, so it is what it is.
Yeah. I totally agree.
I have not heard about the VR training there, Mark. Sorry, not to interrupt, but I have not seen the VR training that Daniels said he's been going through. I'm gonna have to check that out.
Didn't hear about that either.
Yes, thank you, Mark. I'm sorry, Larry. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just saying about the quarterback situation, and that's gonna kind of like tie into what I'm about to get to about pretty sure you heard about the new head coach hiring from. Yes,
and I was gonna ask you.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna ask you about. There's rumors that Russell Wilson.
Exactly.
And who else is it? The QB from Minnesota. Why can't I think of his name?
Sam Darnoldson.
Yeah, are both rumored to, come over there to.
Well, the thing is,
do you really think that Russell Wilson will come back and play for?
I think they had a little riff up in.
They
Seattle,
did. Russell Wilson tried to get him fired,
but they kind of mended that.
I don't know. Toxic relationship is a toxic relationship, man.
Yeah,
that's truly how I feel about it. If it's toxic, it's toxic.
So
he's not gonna let Russell be Russell.
No, but that's how he is. That's how Pete Carroll is. Two things that he believes in thoroughly is a good running game and a staunch defense. So that's basically right now. Me personally, it's okay. Because he's up there in age. So
he's perfect for your defense as it's built.
Right. I mean, if you have Pete Carroll come in there for the next couple of years to start something and name his successor, I agree with that. But as his age is, I don't think he's going to be able to see the whole process through. But I like his building blocks, what he did in Seattle once he left USC. So that's the starting point. So that's what I can say. We have a starting point. That's the best I can say.
Well, he's going to build it from your defense.
Yes, that's
he's going to build that. That's exactly what he did in Seattle.
Exactly.
How much free reign is the ownership, or owner going to give him? Because he had a long leash in Seattle for a long time.
And Mark is kind of like his, he kind of like his pops. You know what I'm saying? Mark Davis.
Yeah, exactly.
He's kind of like his pops. He
What you mean, kinda?
Well, he looked like him too.
He's just like his pops.
Facial feature, everything.
Like, he did exactly what his dad wanted to do and moved his team independently from Los Angeles. So he was able to accomplish it. I think his dad would be proud that he was able to move his team to Las Vegas without any issue with the league.
That was crazy. But
yeah, the fact that there's sports teams in Las Vegas, period.
Well, because of
is
him.
a bit weird, but that's a whole nother day.
Yep, he started it all.
Yeah,
the Raiders, breaking barriers.
The Faders.
We're breaking barriers. You can bet on us now.
Bet on you losing.
That was the first time I ever wanted you to not hit that.
Yeah. Vinny's got jokes on the board.
I did my part.
Oh, my goodness. We're off the rails on today's show.
I wouldn't say it's a bright day, but it's like a cautious day in Raider. We're just going to wait and see. The whole wait and see approach. But, it's It's trending. It's trending upward, hopefully. But yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, so did you want to get into that? Because I watched that Texans KC game and the shenanigans that went on in there with the refereeing and stuff. And so now they're coming out with
Nah,
you don't like?
Nah.
Do you think it was any shenanigans?
No, I think that nobody is. When it was happening to other quarterbacks, nobody says anything. But because Mahomes is winning, and I can't stand Mahomes. He plays against my team twice a year. But again, like we were talking about before the show, when you recognize greatness, you just have to acknowledge it and move on, man. You just have to.
Well, yeah, I know, man, but it's just hard to see. It was one time in that game he didn't even get touched when he came down, and they threw the flag.
I mean, it's just pointing out the obvious that's been going on in all professional sports for decades. I mean,
Superstar calls?
Yeah, man, it happens in the NBA
all the time.
The only sport I would say it doesn't truly happen in is baseball, and that's because baseball is really, really hard to.
It's away from the.
Yeah, like the umpire is the only one that can kind of screw you. You know what I mean? Like, how big is the strike zone? How small is it? Where is it?
And it changed. It changed.
And it does from umpire to umpire and during the game. Or, you know, they'll change it up. Like, what was a strike against one team is not a strike against the other. So there are ways to do it. But I do not feel like it's anything that anybody doesn't already know. It's just happening to Mahomes. And it's a bit obvious, but it's been happening to LeBron.
It's too obvious.
It happened to MJ. Like even Magic Johnson, was saying, like, do you remember watching The Last Dance, right? Mm-hmm. When they interviewed Magic Johnson and they were like, you can't tell, when they were playing in the USA game and they were practicing, right? They were playing a scrimmage. He was like, oh, you can't touch Michael. You know, you can't touch Michael. Everything's a foul. You can't breathe on Michael. And he's just like, don't, you know, because Michael Jordan used to get those calls. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Especially after he toughened up, you know, because he used to get beat up by Detroit. And then he started, administering the punishment. Right? Yeah. And then they started giving him the fouls and stuff like that. And then you couldn't even breathe on Michael Jordan and you were catching a foul, right? Yeah. So that has been happening for decades. It's just dumb.
It's just a mood point for you?
Yeah, man. It's just dumb. Like, you know, beat them. Beat them. You know, Mahomes only plays offense. You know what I'm saying? The Chiefs have a fairly good defense, but they're beatable. They are definitely beatable.
It's going to be interesting.
So you just have to go in there and you have to outscore them, and that's the only way you're going to do that. Is because you can stop them a few times, but your offense has to be on point. You have to play mistake-free football on offense in order to beat them, and that's just.
Well, today is going to be all or nothing because they're going to be facing a team that actually beat them in the regular season.
Facts.
Oh, other than Broncos,
facts.
One or two teams that beat them.
Right.
So, and they wasn't afraid. If you watched that game, they wasn't afraid. They wasn't playing the KC Chiefs just to win. They was playing to dominate, and they basically they beat them pretty good.
I do not disagree at all, except for the fact of that was a regular season game. Let's see you do it in Kansas City, because I think didn't they play in Buffalo?
In Buffalo.
So let's see you do it in Kansas City, in the blistering cold with that crowd.
Same mentality.
Yeah, let's see you do it there. And I do think the Bills actually are going to win this game. Hot take right now.
Wow.
I think the Bills are actually going to win this game.
Okay. You going to the Super Bowl and lose another one?
We'll talk about that next week.
Talk about, stay tuned on that one.
Yeah, let's not don't jump too far ahead on me, Larry.
It's like, man, they
gotta win today first.
Let's save some content for next week.
They gotta win today. Let's get past today first. Yeah. But I do think they will win today. I don't think that's going to be by a large margin. I think they win by maybe 7 or less. but I do think they win by keeping the ball away from Patrick Mahomes, because that's the only way you can beat this team is by long, sustained drives.
That's what they
with
did.
scoring at the end. That is the only way that you can beat this team. And 3 teams were able to do it. And we can put an asterisk next to the Broncos just for the simple fact that most of their starters were out. Not all, but most of their starters were out. But the other 2 games that they lost, that definitively or wait, did they? What was their?
They only lost 2.
They only lost 2?
Yeah.
Let me make sure of that, man. I think you're right, though. Yeah. But anyways, that's the only way that they beat them the last time is they were able to run the ball, which they can do again. And they had long sustaining drives and with points at the end. And whether they're 3 or 7, now you want 7, but whether there's 3 or 7, you definitively want to put points on the board every single time you possess the ball.
I think Buffalo is going to bring that mentality to KC. Because the thing is just a mentality. You know what I'm saying? Whether they playing in Buffalo or KC, the way they played, if they can just do that in KC, they should be all right. You know what I'm saying? They came at KC. A lot of teams wasn't coming at KC during the regular season. They was like basically pinned back and letting KC do with them. And the teams reacted to what KC did.
Right.
But Buffalo did not.
Buffalo's got a fairly good defense. They're not great. They're not, they're just good.
They'll let you play with them.
But if they can get a few stops, man, if they can get a few stops and wear down the clock, wear down KC's defense, and just keep scoring, I do think that they can win. I think Josh Allen is going to have a big day. I think he's going to, because he's been kind of playing in the pocket. A lot of criticism that everybody's been having of him is that he doesn't stay in the pocket. He doesn't throw the ball as much as he should be. He gets injured because he's running. But, he's fighting for his career life right now, man. It's a big deal if he loses this game. He will always be compared to Mahomes, in that manner, because Mahomes basically has owned him in the playoffs every time they've played. So let's see. Let's see them do it. And I think he's going to have a big day, not just throwing the ball, but also running the ball. Because I think a lot of people have slept on the fact that he is still Josh Allen. He can still run the ball.
Yeah, I think this is going to be one of those memorable games that we're going to look back 20 years from now. And I just feel it has that,
It's definitely going to be a better game than this Washington-Philadelphia game. Because this game is a snoozer, man.
Well,
I don't like it.
Saquon is doing pretty good.
I don't like it. Philly should be whooping Washington's ace right now, and they're not. That's just dumb to me. I think Barkley is injured, though. He had like some calf tightness or something.
Oh, man.
Yeah, they was massaging his calf on the sideline right before we went live. They were doing one of them rollers on his calf. So we'll see.
They don't need him.
They gonna need him.
He scored their 2 touchdowns. He scored their 2 touchdowns.
Yeah. Talking about needing something, man. Let's go to
What's that?
let's see, Jimmy Butler.
Needing something.
Jimmy Butler needing a trade.
Oh, man.
And the league is pretty much not wanting that to happen.
I hate when I read that. Now you know me. I read that. I thought about my team. I thought about way back in 2011.
Yeah, when they were trying to get CP3, right?
We don't want that.
And the league was like, psych.
Anytime
You can go to LA, but not to the Lakers.
I know.
I don't even understand why. I still to this day don't understand why CP3 wasn't allowed to go to the Lakers, why they kept that from happening. Because I don't think the league has ever really given a, good answer or an answer for that matter.
Well, the thing is, it's basically because I'm daddy and I said so. That's basically with Jerry Stern. Because the thing is, all the trade, everything matched up. Because they was going to send Lamar. I think they was going to send Lamar and future picks to Houston. Mm-hmm. It was a 3-team trade between I think they wasn't the New Orleans. the New Orleans Hornets during Hurricane Katrina when they got displaced. I think it was it the New Orleans Hornets? Yeah, wasn't it?
I'm not sure.
I think it was the New Orleans Hornets when they got displaced during Katrina. But it was the New Orleans Hornets and the Rockets and the Lakers. It was a 3-team trade. And Lamar, it was Pau Gasol, and Lamar Odom going to the Rockets and some picks. I don't know how that was going to go, but I think Gasol was going to one place and Lamar was going to the Rockets for picks, and it was.
And then CP3 was supposed to come to the Lakers.
Yeah,
but they killed that deal.
The trade in itself, everything matched up perfectly, but the fact that Chris Paul was going to give, I guess that window, Kobe Bryant that window to open up, because the whole plan was to get Bynum to Orlando for Dwight Howard, and then bring, Chris Paul over and have that big three, and that was gonna open that window for another probably 8 years for Kobe. Kobe would have got a couple of more, 2 or 3 more rings out of that. So they said, no, we don't want more.
Well, we'll never know now.
We don't want more Laker dominance, So that was.
We don't want no more Laker dominance. Get out of here, man.
Oh yeah, nobody wants that.
You think that would have been the domination, just having Chris Paul? That team was.
And Dwight Howard and Kobe Bryant. Yeah, that was their plan though. That was their master plan. I mean, they failed, but they still got Dwight Howard.
I mean, when he did go to the Clippers, man, that's what created Lob City, right?
And what did they get out of that?
Nothing.
Exactly.
Nothing. And that's exactly what the Lakers would have got out of that.
Oh, wow.
Nothing.
Clippers didn't have.
I love CP3. I love his game, but this dude, he's never going to win a ring. This is probably his last season playing basketball.
I think that was a ridiculous statement you made. I don't think the Clippers have nobody like Kobe Bryant on their team to make that analogy.
They had enough. They had enough players. I mean,
they had Blake Griffin jumping.
Both players are ball dominant, right? Kobe's ball dominant, so is CP3, right? So how would that have worked? There's only one ball, son.
See what happened with Steve Nash, though.
Yeah, nothing. Exactly what I said. Nothing.
I don't know. It's to be yet to be seen, but yeah.
I mean, what's yet to be seen?
Nothing now. What yet to be seen is this Jimmy Butler thing.
That's what I'm saying. What's to be seen? Do you really think Jimmy Buckets is the like? I don't even think the Lakers are in the hunt for Jimmy Buckets.
Well,
but the league doesn't want him to go to Phoenix. Is where they don't want him to go to. But why?
I don't know. I mean, he's not going to make them. Unfortunately, he's not going to make them an instant title contender. I don't know.
Well, it depends. Are they able to keep Beal, Booker, and Durant in this trade?
They can't keep all.
No.
So it's like
somebody's got to go.
Well, Beal,
Beal has no trade clause. He has to sign off on a trade. If they want to trade him, they're stuck with him.
It basically how he feels, because right now he feels a certain kind of way. But the thing is, they can't do nothing. And
nope. They can move him on the bench. They can do whatever they want.
He know they can't do nothing.
They can't do nothing.
Like, I'll say, this is how you're going to do me. I'm not going to accept the trade until like after the season.
He's holding them completely hostage, my dude. Yeah, he's holding all the cards, all the chips. He's making all the plays. So Durant and Booker can piss and moan all they want and want to get rid of him. But the fact still remains, they're the ones that vied to get him, right? They're the ones that asked the organization to get him.
That's why I understand about things like this, because I remember when LeBron and AD, when they asked for the Lakers to trade for Russell Westbrook, and then all of a sudden they want to get him traded. I mean, like, you wanted this guy.
Yeah.
You wanted him.
Yeah.
So,
but they didn't want him to be him.
Well, that's just the same thing that's going on with in Phoenix right now.
Yeah.
Yep. So
I think it's a good role for him to come off the bench. To be honest with you, he's actually thrived in that role. It's their starting five that haven't been playing very well. But speaking of not playing very well, AD, as we were talking about before the show, AD has been complaining about the Lakers not drafting a center, right?
Well, trading for one though.
Well, I mean, or not getting a center. Like they're not even open to getting a center. So basically, he's like, I want to play my power forward, and I don't want to play center because he's getting cooked. But he likes being that weak side defender and being able to come over and swat the ball.
That's where he's at his best.
Yeah, but that's soft, man. You can't play
He's
man.
not a straight up no.
He can't play man.
His physically, no. He gets beat. Any traditional center will, especially during a playoff series, but during the game, beat him, wear him down.
He's getting eaten alive at the 5. Period.
So, I kind of understand that. Kind of like in the middle because just play. You're getting paid. I don't like being one of those guys, but yeah, you're getting paid to play. Just go play. It's supposed to be positionless basketball.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
It's not supposed to be positionless basketball, but that's the way it's been trending.
Right.
You play. Look, man. You play the 5. That's just what it is.
But
Joker's not really a true center either. He came into the league.
But he bulky though. I mean, he can.
Well, because he came into the league kind of that way. But he's not. He's a power forward. If Jokic was playing his true position, it would be power forward, and then they would have somebody else as center.
Well, if that's
kind of how when the Nuggets drafted him, they wanted Nurkic to play the center, and then Jokic was going to play power forward.
Okay, I remember that.
So,
but then see, I give Joker the credit because he's playing that center position and he's dominating that position.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So hats off to him. But right now, the AD I know. Plays his best when he's the 4. So I think the Lakers need to just, unfortunately, get a center for him so he can.
What center? Who would you be happy with?
Well, they're talking right now in Washington about, come on, what's that guy name? Can't remember the center from Washington Wizards. But
I know who you're talking about, though.
They're talking about Toronto's Jakob Portal, the guy that got traded, from the Spurs. They're talking about several other centers, but what I'm saying, only thing we don't need an all-star type center. The Lakers, I got the arthritis. I'm just kidding. But the only thing the Lakers need is an adequate.
Valanciunas is who you're thinking of.
Jonas Valanciunas, yeah. And he's not a rim protector, so to speak. He'll clog the lane. He a rebound, but
I don't think that's gonna tilt the scales for your team.
They need
bro.
somebody like when they were successful. Somebody like a JaVale McGee type, a Dwight Howard. And they had 2 of them too. That's why we talked about this last year and the year before. It's like, why are the Lakers going away from what they won in 2020? They was the bomb basically far as like Anthony.
They was the writing letters to the league. They wasn't the bomb. They were. They literally should have lost to the Nuggets, but LeBron wrote letters talking about he was getting fouled. There was no crowd. There was no nothing. We could see everything, and he talking about, I'm getting fouled every which way, and then all of a sudden they're winning from the free throw line. Man, there will always be an asterisk next to that championship. Yeah. I'm sorry, always, because they didn't earn it. They didn't earn it. They literally bitched and moaned to win the series, the Western Conference Finals against the Nuggets, and went on to win. So that gets an asterisk. I don't care what anybody says. Moving on.
I was about to move
on. They did play better when they had centers playing and AD was able to play the 4. But to me, that's weak sauce. That's weak sauce on his part.
Well, that is, but you want to.
It's like all I want to do. I want to be named as a great defender, but I don't want to have to defend. I want to be able to, hover around the rim and then just kind of sneak over and swat shots Like, come on, man.
Well, I think
Soft.
Chloe's for Kobe. Chloe's for Kobe.
Soft.
well,
Softer than baby turds, dog. Dude is soft.
so
Can't play the 5. Can't even play the 4. Even if they do put him on the 4, AD is garbage. Sorry.
Ouch.
I'm just playing.
Ouch.
That was too far.
Ouch. Ouch.
That was too far. I got a little upset. I take that back.
You sounded like a Laker fan right now.
No, but I mean that is soft. I'm sorry, that is soft. Like for him to come out and say he doesn't want to play the 5.
Well, he always didn't want to play. I remember Darvin Ham said, "Well, fact over feelings. You're gonna have to just play the 5."
And JJ and the Lakers organization is going to say the same thing. Like they traded to get him to play center. That's what they traded to get him.
I don't know if they traded him place. They just needed somebody other than LeBron James on the marquee.
Well,
Yeah, but
they tried to hand him the keys this season, and now he's crying.
no, you ain't getting him.
No,
keys.
they've been playing through AD. They're playing through him.
No. Anthony Davis is a career number 2 guy. He is not gonna.
Bruh, they're playing their offense. Have you watched any games this year?
Of course, man.
They're playing through him.
The times he's on the court.
Well, okay.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's like the most.
When he's not on the court, how can they play through him, Larry?
LeBron. Well, they can't play through him. But I'm just saying.
You're killing me, dog.
No.
You're killing me.
No.
You're killing me. They literally are running the offense through AD this year. They literally, when he's on the court, they're running they're running it through him. But he doesn't want to play from the 5, and that's just stupid to me. I will give the Lakers their due, though, the fact that they're not hovering. This time last year, they were still hovering around the play-in.
They 25-18, doing much better.
Yeah, I mean, they're only 3 games or 2.5 games behind the Nuggets. Maybe 3 because I think we beat the Lakers. So
Last year, their offense was, their defense was any. The only difference this year is you can tell their defensive intensity. I think it's maybe it's because of the new coach, but they're more higher this year in defense, but offense, they still where they at, they still in the middle of the pack. They ranking like about, I say like 18, 19 overall in total offense.
yeah, but at least they're not at the bottom of the pack.
Well,
on the
last
standings.
year they was like 26th in offense and like 30th in defense.
Yeah,
But they're a little better, but still not in a championship contention.
well, I mean, it's a stacked West. We all know that. And Memphis has kind of come out of nowhere too. But the Lakers are hovering around. They're above that play-in line.
I think they're in the 5th spot, 5th or 6th.
3, 4, 5. No, they're in the 5.
5th or 6th spot.
And don't they? When is the Battle of Los Angeles, or did that already happen?
That already happened, and I don't want to talk about it.
Oh, that's right, because the
Yeah.
Clippers beat them.
You didn't have to say it like that.
Oh, that's right. No, I
it was
remember.
it was a shellacking. Yeah, that was their first game. Well, we talk about that. I mean, the inside of that dome into it is awesome. But yeah, they got shellacked. It was. I mean, they got
And dead last in education. What are we talking? Mark in our chat over here talking to himself, and talking. What are you, Mark? What is
Mark.
he?
You talking about education?
Look.
Oh,
He's like literally, he's the DJ from Suburban House Radio. I'm just going to put him on blast right now. And he's in the chat doing a shameless plug for his Suburban House Radio. It actually is a good channel, though, if you want to peep it. If you like good music, go ahead and peep it out. But yeah, he's giving a shameless plug and like talking to himself, trying to kick himself out of the chat. It's hilarious. I've been sitting here distracted a bit.
I see.
But anyway, back to basketball.
Yeah.
So my Nuggets got mollywopped last night, man, by Minnesota, and I was telling you this before show. I truly think, and Jamal Murray, no disrespect, but I really think that Edwards is in his head. And the entire Minnesota Timberwolves team is in the Nuggets' head. They can't seem to get past this team.
Well,
It's almost like the Bulls versus Detroit. Now the league does allow Minnesota to get away with a lot of crap defensively, especially in the fast break. A lot of take fouls they allow them to get away with, et cetera. And it's not just against the Nuggets. I watch Minnesota, games all the time. They get away with it a lot.
Okay.
But the fact of the matter is that you're going to have to beat them at their own game. If the Nuggets truly want to be contenders, that is one of the teams, even though they're still in that play-in area, that is one of the teams that is going to, you're going to have to beat in order to win another chip.
Okay.
But as it stands right now, man, let me ask you this real quick. I don't mean to pivot, but
Go ahead.
as it stands right now, if the playoffs went off right now, it'd be Denver versus the Lakers, right? You good with that? You good with the matchup
I have no expectations.
of your team or of the Nuggets, or you have no expectations of nothing?
Of my team, no.
Okay.
Well, the thing is,
There you have it, folks.
Well, the thing
I don't
is-
really care. I don't care what they do.
unless
They
they
just
make
go out there
the
and play
thing is,
basketball.
they need a trade. Everybody know, and their aunties and uncles, they know that they need a trade. They need a trade in a bad way. So will they make a trade? The trade
Who
deadline.
are you trading though? Who are you trading, and who are you trading for? Because I know
Anybody on our team that's not Anthony Davis and LeBron James.
Dang.
Trade Bronny and
Trade Bronny.
trade Bryce.
Bronny's not even playing. Why you throw that?
Bring him up from the G League and trade him.
You don't have to bring him up from the G League to trade him. But I'm just saying, why were you bringing him up, period?
I guess I'm living rent free in his head.
Or he's living rent free in yours.
But no, but to answer your question, I seen the one game that the Lakers played the Nuggets and the Nuggets beat them bad, So, what it's going to be. It's going to be like the same thing over and over
The
again.
Nuggets to your team is like the Minnesota Timberwolves to the Nuggets.
Yeah. You want to say if you at least y'all guys give resistance.
I don't know, man. They got pretty much demoralized last night, bro. It was pretty bad. It was pretty bad. I watched it all the way to the end. It was really bad. But Minnesota just seems to have. I mean, the GM that created the Minnesota Timberwolves is the same GM that created the team at the Nuggets. Now, it's been changed a little bit, you know what I'm saying, over the past couple of years because it's been a different GM. But for the most part, they're constructed in the same way. And I think that's why the Denver Nuggets have so many issues with Minnesota for that reason. And Mark is throwing shade and taking shots at you, my dude. You want to read?
No, I'm good.
No. You got to read this.
No, I'm not.
It's kind of what we do, beat the Lakers.
Mark, come on, man. You the voice of reasoning, bro.
Oh, I know all about that.
Supposed to be moderate, man.
Not when it comes to the Lakers, man. Believe you me, he hates the Lakers as much as I do. I promise you.
Hey. But yeah, we just but the thing is, like, I watched the one I think it was the Wizard game when they retired Michael Cooper jersey on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
And they had no life in them. And it was kind of like sad. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to say they don't have no fire, but they just, throughout the game, they can't maintain that consistency.
Mm-hmm.
They don't, I don't know. It's just they missing a fiery person that's just gonna, like I'm trying to think of his name that was with the team when they won the championship. Can't remember his name. He was what is his Avery Bradley? Remember Avery Bradley was on that team, and he's that, like, not enforcer, but he was that spark plug. Even Rondo was another spark plug. They had spark plugs that was on. I watched them. They was on that bench, and they was like in LeBron James' ear, especially Rondo, and everybody fell in the line. I mean, it's no.
Yeah,
it's
and then
no,
they had to write letters in order to beat the Denver Nuggets. You keep trying to glorify that 2020 team, and they weren't that good.
Well, the thing is,
They were not that good.
before the pandemic, bro. They were leading the league.
They were not.
Say
that
they
good.
weren't. Say they weren't.
They wasn't that good though.
Say they weren't leading the league
They
before
only-
the pandemic. They was. If the pandemic, I believe, if the pandemic didn't hit, they would have still been a number one team, and they would have got out the West.
I don't know. I think they pretty much bitched and moaned their way.
Only
all
reason
the way
I'm
through.
bringing up 2020 because those two guys are still on that team, and they probably the
Right. Two guys that are still on the team, and
Right.
they haven't been able to get out of the play-in area until this season, and that still remains to be seen because they're only like a half a game above the 4 teams behind them. So they could still fall to that play-in. I don't think they will personally, but and that's only giving them a modicum amount of love right there.
right. Well, until them two guys leave, you know what I'm saying? It's not really. That's the only thing I can just put on, like, weigh on them is what happened in 2020.
Yeah, but 2020,
I know it was 5 years ago.
I wouldn't use that as the benchmark, man.
I mean,
I'm just saying they
if
honestly
it's-
were not that good. They were not that good.
And they won a championship.
They by writing letters.
They still won a championship.
By writing letters. There's an asterisk, bro. We can argue this all day. I'm never going to come off of that. The fact of the matter is that without those letters, without the Nuggets were whooping their ass. They were beating them. The Nuggets were in their head. The only thing that turned the tide was the fact that they started getting the fouls that LeBron claimed they were not getting in the games that they lost to the Nuggets. And then they ended up winning by free throw margins. Getting like 30, 40 free throws a game in order to beat the Denver Nuggets. That's
You guys won the first game.
Interesting.
I believe we won the first 2 games.
No, you won the first game and got swept after that. So
Let's look at it then. Because I don't think that's true. I'm pretty
'cause
sure.
I'm really thinking you kind of hallucinating a little bit about we was kicking. I mean, y'all got lucky one game and got swept the rest of the way. So,
Yeah, I don't think that was the case.
well, I'm just saying.
Wrong.
Yeah, I don't think that was the case. I think you're.
I know because during the playoffs we went 4-1 throughout all the series. No, I take that back. The finals we went 4-2. Miami won 2 games.
Hold on.
But during the Western Conference, yeah, we 4-1. We 4-1 you guys. We 4-1 Houston, and we 4-1. I think it was Portland. So
Nah.
okay. So anywho,
Are you okay, dude?
You keep trying to put that team as a great team and a constructed team, and it wasn't that good.
hey, if the pandemic didn't hit, they'll still be champions. I mean, I watched that team. They had chemistry. You just can't deny they didn't have chemistry. So
They got beat in LA, and now that I think about it, I believe that you are right. It was 4-1 or 1-4 or whatever. But because they got so beat in LA in that game 1,
it was in a bubble.
yeah, they got beat so bad that he wrote letters. Can you deny that? That that LeBron didn't write letters to the league saying that he was getting fouled, and then all of a sudden, the next 4 games, that's all the Nuggets were getting foul here, foul there.
Portland beat us in that first game worse than you guys did. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, did Portland complain about they get calls?
127-102.
Portland or the Nuggets?
Nuggets.
That was game 1 or 2?
That was 1.
Okay.
That was the game they won. Was 127-102.
Did they win anything after that?
Well, no, because they were getting fouled every time they breathed on Anthony Davis or they breathed on LeBron. It was a foul. They ended up taking like 40 free throws every game in game 2, 3, 4, and 5. So how did the Nuggets not foul and win 127-102 in game 1, but then they were doing nothing but fouling after a letter was written? Right?
So
after the letter was sent to the league, all of a sudden, everything that wasn't a foul in game 1 was now a foul.
So was a letter written to Portland the same way?
We're not talking about Portland. We're talking about the Nuggets. He didn't write a letter in the Portland series.
Just to the Nuggets.
He did. That happened.
I know.
That happened. So yes, the bottom line is that he wrote a letter, and that's how they won the series. Period. The refs bought them well, I mean, they actually did win once they got to the finals. I'll give them that credit. When they got there, they won that series, but they wouldn't have been there if he hadn't have written that letter, and they wouldn't have been allowed to basically cry their way to a finals. There's a major asterisk next to their championship in 2020, man. It has nothing to do with the bubble. Has nothing to do with.
It just had the leather. You said
the letter, because all of a sudden, like I said,
I just think y'all really wasn't good that year.
We came back from down 3-1 twice. They were really good that year.
Maybe y'all ran out of gas.
We were in the third. We didn't run out of gas, man.
I don't know.
No, we didn't run out of gas. We ran into a letter. We ran into a letter, and you know it. You know it. There's a huge asterisk. Everybody and their mama knows there's an asterisk next to that championship. Everybody puts an asterisk next to it for different reasons. Some people say, oh, it was in the bubble, so it was the easier championship. I would argue that it was the hardest championship, having to be away from everybody, going, being secluded, basically. There was a lot of toughness to it getting there. But the fact that he wrote that letter to me, and if he had never written that letter and then y'all won 4 straight games, you won 4 straight games. But the fact of the matter is that he wrote that letter, and all of a sudden you went from getting 14 free throws to doubling that in every one of those games. The numbers bear it out. Bottom line is, yeah, see, even Mark was like, I laughed when he did it, but it drastically changed the reffing in that series. It did. Game by game, it drastically changed the way that the Nuggets were being refereed. Bottom line is that, they have the championship, they have the ring. That's the bottom line. They did win, but that there's still an asterisk. They didn't win. They didn't win by their own merits. They won by writing a letter saying that the Nuggets were fouling, and all of a sudden the reffing changed.
Well, it might be an asterisk to you, but it's still a championship.
It's an asterisk to the basketball known world, man, except for Laker fans.
When I check 2019 champion, I don't see an asterisk. So.
Yeah, well, there is one.
I don't see.
There is one. There's an asterisk there, because they haven't won anything since. They ran with the same team the following year, did they not? They ran with the same team the following year. Didn't do anything.
Yeah, Anthony Davis got hurt.
Oh, okay.
Right against Phoenix in the first round. That's
okay.
See, people can't get hurt, but it is what it is.
Okay.
They can get letters, but they can't get hurt.
Okay. We had an injury, and that's why they got their ass whooped the next year.
I'm not gonna go. I'm serious. I'm not gonna go there with you.
You already went there with me.
No, because it's like, if they get hurt, it don't matter. But if they write
lost
a letter,
though, did they not? Did they win the championship the next year? Have they even been to the championship since 2020? Have they even sniffed? They did once, right? They came up against the Nuggets in the Western Conference Championship again, right? And then the Nuggets won.
We went,
and
to
they came from the play. They came in from the play-in, though, right?
We went to the Western Conference.
The Western Conference
against
final.
the Nuggets,
right?
What was that? 2023.
When we won.
Okay,
when the Nuggets won
from 2020 to 2025. All right, the Lakers have been to a finals and won, and they went to a Western Conference. You guys went to a finals and won And then
Well, we went to the Western Conference as well because that's where the letter was written. That was a Western Conference final.
But you guys didn't win.
No, we lost because of a letter.
Okay.
We lost because of a letter.
True.
But then the Nuggets have been in the top 3 since then. At bare minimum, the top 3, except for this year, they have been either the 1, 2, or 3 seed going into the playoffs. Period. And in that time, they've been to the Western Conference Finals twice and have won a championship. So I would say that the Nuggets were actually pretty damn good, and they were pretty damn good. I believe they were the 3rd seed in that 2020. So they were pretty damn good. They were just young and inexperienced in that series. That was the first time that they had ever gone like really, really deep. But to come back and be the only team to come back down 3-1 twice in a row means that they were good. They were really, really good. But to me, the fact that the Nuggets maintained being good in the top 5 minimum since that day, and the Lakers haven't. Yes, they have been to the Western Conference Finals once from the play-in position, but they've been in the play-in position since 2020.
So you saying when you was down 1, well, what you down for against the Clippers, right? I remember it was one of them was the Clippers, right?
The Clippers and then Utah.
It was 1-3. Remember?
It was 3-1. They had beaten the Nuggets
3-1.
Mm-hmm.
They was down, and it was Utah, I think.
Utah was the other team.
It was Utah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and you just beat them. So what's the problem? You was down
because the Nuggets didn't write a letter to the league.
Even if they written a letter, you think
if the Nuggets have written the letter, then I would put an asterisk next to the back-to-back 3-1 comeback. If they had to do that in order to win those, that's not, to me, that's soft. If they had to write a letter or bitch and moan in order to win those games, then they didn't deserve to win those games, but they didn't need to do that. The Nuggets especially against the Clippers, overcame the way the Clippers were playing them. Now I need them to do that against Minnesota now coming up, in the playoffs this year, because they didn't do that. They didn't have that toughness about them, perseverance that they had in 2020 to come back down 3-1. But they didn't need to write that letter. The Lakers did. LeBron did. And they did do that. And the reffing drastically changed. Bottom line, you cannot deny that. You really can't. You can sit here and talk until you're blue in the face and say, oh, well, yeah, they won though. They won though. But the bottom line is that they won via writing a letter to the league and then the league changing the way that the games were reffed. Period. We were just talking about it at the beginning of the show, how, Mahomes and all of that stuff, is getting favoritism. That's the same thing. It happened to the Nuggets with the Lakers.
And what you say about KC?
No, I'm just saying that Mahomes is greatness. The bottom line is that he's still, you got to beat them. And we should have beat them. We should have overcame and beat them. But it was very, very hard
you can see,
to do so.
You can see
when you have to beat the refs.
You can see the disparity between KC. The refs is literally kissing them.
Well, that's the way Nuggets fans and most of the world saw the Lakers versus the Nuggets.
Well,
every time you even looked at LeBron when he was going to the hole, foul. Even if the foul before the shot even went up, or before they would make sure, like, let's see, is it going to go in? Because if it goes in, we're not going to call a foul. But if it misses it, we're going to call a foul. That was the type of stuff that was going on. So that's why, to me, that's probably why, to answer your question, why I'm numb to that type of stuff.
You have to respect greatness, like you said.
Yeah, well, Mahomes is greatness. I don't think that 2020 thing was Mahomes writing letters to the league. Is Mahomes asking?
He don't need to write a letter.
Thank you.
He's kissing them.
Thank you.
He's kissing.
He doesn't need to write a letter.
Everybody know.
He doesn't need to write a letter because that's soft. He doesn't need to write a letter to the NFL saying, "Hey, they're hitting me on my helmet," and then now they're calling those things. That's the NFL doing that on their own, protecting their commodity.
Taylor Swift does it for him.
Yeah, exactly.
But isn't that worse?
No. No, it's much worse to write ooh, I almost cussed. It's almost worse to write a Karen letter to the league. That was some Karen stuff.
Dear Karen.
Dear NBA, I am getting fouled by the Denver Nuggets, and I need to get my fouls because I am a superstar, and I should be getting these. I should be getting these fouls, and if you're not going to give these fouls, that makes it an unfair game to us. And I need to get one more championship in LA so that I could solidify my greatness that I have in my head since I decided to call myself King James when I was a young kid.
See, Lakers, see what you guys do to me? You did not say, if you guys play good, I really could defend you. I can't.
But you know I'm right on that. On the aspect of,
you guys better step up your game so I can have some
you
ammo
have to
this.
admit, after 2020, they have not been very good.
Like I said, we need a trade now to shut him up. All right, because I'm getting tired of this.
Y'all
stuff.
you keep saying every year, oh, if we do this, if we do that, and they do it, and then play in. This is the first season. Now I'll give you credit that you didn't want JJ Redick, you didn't want LeBron James to be calling the shots. I'll give you all of that. Like I really
You already knew my stance before the season started.
Yes, yeah,
and basically it's a sit back and you see how I am.
Yeah.
Oh, I told you. I said this season,
I don't
my guy,
think a trade is going to help your team.
It's going to be a sit back and wait approach because they came back with everything. Everybody came back.
I don't think a midseason. I think next year, to be honest with you, if next year, I'm sorry.
Look, Mark. We're going to have to get Mark on the show, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, my God. Go to the chat. Follow us on YouTube at Sportz Phenz. Follow us on all social media.
He's a keyboard gangster.
He is in there talking smack.
He's talking major smack.
Oh, man. But anyway, I don't think a midseason trade for a center this year is going to boost anything. I've never believed in, and this is probably the only thing that I truly get crap about from Nuggets fans. I'm a true believer in you don't do midseason trades. The AG was like the anomaly. He's not the rule. He's the exception. He's not the rule.
There's only a few. There's only a few mid-season trades that actually benefited a franchise.
Usually it doesn't.
It usually happens before the season or after.
And that's when it benefits.
Only one that I can think of is probably a few more, but the only one mid-season trade I think helped the team move and win a champions with that 04 Detroit Pistons when they traded in mid-season to Atlanta and got Rasheed Wallace to go along with Tayshaun Prince and them. They went on and won a championship.
That stiffened their defense.
You're right. That's the only mid-season. For the most part, mid-season trades
Good call.
They don't really help.
But that's basically my point is like, if they're going to pull the trigger, it needs to be after this season. See what this team can do as constructed.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the season,
cherry pick.
I
want some joy, bro.
Well, that's why I'm saying.
I'm not saying we're going to win it if they make a trade, but I just want.
I'll give you some joy, my guy. You guys are above. You guys are above the line of playing. At this juncture of the season last year, you guys were below the line and the play-in. You were vying for a play-in spot with Golden State and Houston and New Orleans at that time, right? This year, you're actually, almost 10 full games above 500.
Oh, 7.
Well, I'm just saying you're almost 10 games above 500. They went 6-4 in their last 10 games.
You see, all this stuff here is just second talk. I'm saying.
Well, I'm just saying, see how they do. See how they finish with this team as constructed. A trade is not going to
being a Laker fan. It comes a lot with that. We have a mentality.
Don't we know?
It's either championship or bust. Every season.
And it's been a bust since 2020.
It's been a bust.
Yeah.
And the thing is, you've been busted too many times.
Stop. And with that, we are going to end the show. Tune in next week when we dump on the Lakers a little bit more.
See what happens,
on
y'all.
behalf of everybody that does this show, much love.
Interesting.
Come on by So High Cafe, 4300 West Alameda. Get you some Viper Pit barbecue. Tell them the Sportz Phenz sent you. We will see you next Sunday, 2 p.m. Mountain Standard Time.
Go Lakers.
Peace. Go away, Lakers.
Stop
Go
getting
away. He
busted.
forgot a word in there.
No.
Go away.